You know, it's kind of funny, isn't it? Some of the best financial advice out there is, well, ancient. Today, we're going to unlock some secrets of wealth from a book written almost 100 years ago, but it's set in a city that was booming thousands of years before that. We're going to see how the lessons from The Richest Man in Babylon can totally change the way you think about money. Right here, right now. Okay, so first, picture this. A city that just pops up out of a barren desert. It wasn't built on gold mines or anything like that. Nope, it was built on pure human smarts and discipline. That was Babylon, a symbol of what's possible, with these massive walls and legendary riches, all built by people who figured out the laws of money. But here's the crazy part. Even in the richest city on earth, you had talented craftsmen and amazing musicians who were just always broke. I mean, they worked hard, they earned good money, but they had nothing to show for it. It's a problem that sounds super familiar, doesn't it? So, they're frustrated, they're confused, and they finally realize that just working harder isn't the answer. They needed to get smarter. So they go to this childhood friend of theirs, a guy who started out just like them, but was now known all over as the richest man in Babylon. So let's meet this guy, Arkad, and find out exactly how he pulled it off. Oof, this quote, it hits hard, right? It just forces you to face this truth. We pay our rent, we pay for groceries, we pay all our bills. Basically, we work to make everyone else rich. But when do we actually work for ourselves? Getting your head around that idea is the first and, honestly, the most important step to building your own wealth. And this is Arkad. The thing to remember about him is that he wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Not at all. He started out as a simple scribe, working long hours for barely any pay. His journey proves that getting rich isn't about luck. It's a skill. And it's a skill that anyone can learn. So what was Arkad's big secret? What's the first thing he taught? It's the most basic rule of all. Pay yourself first. 10%. That was the magic number. Arkad's mentor told him for every 10 coins you earn, you keep one for yourself. And here's the key part. You have to do it before you pay anyone else. It's not really about the amount. It's about building that habit, that discipline of putting yourself first. So yeah, the whole idea boils down to this. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. It's your money. Before you pay the landlord, before you pay for anything, you pay you. That simple act of just putting that first 10% aside, that's you declaring that you're serious about this. It's the seed that your whole financial tree is going to grow from. But look, saving that 10% is just step one. I mean, a pile of gold is nice to look at, sure, but it's not going to grow on its own. To build real, lasting wealth, you've got to do more. You have to make your gold multiply. Oh, I love this distinction. It's so powerful. On the one hand, you've got saving. That's like putting money in a chest. It feels safe, but it's just sitting there, doing nothing. On the other hand, investing, that's when your money becomes your slave. It works for you 24/7. That's the difference right there. That's how you go from just saving to actually creating an income that you don't have to work for. And just look at what a massive difference this makes over time. If you save $10,000 a year for 30 years, you'll have 300 grand. Hey, that's not bad at all. But if you invest that same money and get an average 8% return, which is pretty typical for the broad stock market over time, look what happens. You end up with over $1.1 million. That giant gap, that's the magic of compounding. It's incredible. Arkad just put it so perfectly. You make your money work for you, then you take the money it earns, its children, and you put them to work. And then you take their earnings, the children's children. Before you know it, you've got this whole army of money working around the clock to build your fortune. Okay, so once you start building that wealth, you run into the next big challenge. How do you keep it? It's really easy to get excited and maybe a little greedy, but wisdom tells us to protect what we've earned. This is like the golden rule of investing. Before you even think about how much money you can make, you have to think about risk. Is your initial investment, your principal, safe? It is so much better to grow slowly and steadily than it is to lose everything in one big, risky gamble. And the difference is huge. A wise investment, it's like a healthy fruit tree. It protects your original seed while giving you a steady harvest year after year. A speculative scheme, though, that's like building a house on the edge of a cliff. The view might be amazing, but the risk of it all coming crashing down is just too high. The key is to stay away from stuff you don't understand and to only trust real experts. And hey,
Even Arcade made mistakes. He learned this lesson the hard way. He gave his entire first year of savings to a brickmaker who promised to go buy rare jewels. See the problem? The guy knew everything about bricks, but nothing about jewels. The whole investment was a total bust. It's a timeless lesson. Get advice from people who actually know what they're talking about.
All right, this brings us to one last really crucial idea. A lot of people look at wealthy folks and just write it off as, oh, they just got lucky. But the Babylonians, they had a very different way of looking at luck. Seriously, is it all just random chance? I mean, it's so easy to say someone else's success is just good fortune, right? Because it kind of lets us off the hook for not taking action ourselves. But what if luck is actually something you can create? And there it is. That's the secret. Luck isn't some random thing that just happens to you. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. People who procrastinate just wait around for good things to happen. But men and women of action, they make their own luck by being ready and jumping on opportunities the second they appear. So in the end, the wisdom of Babylon isn't just about knowing these things. It's about doing them. The principles themselves are simple, but man, they demand action. They demand discipline. So the only real question left is, what action are you going to take to build your own fortune starting today?